It is so obvious to me the South Node is still in Libra and Love is Blind. All of these love, romance, what are they called? Since I've been learning French, I can't remember English the same. Trash TV, reality TV, dating shows. All of these dating shows are just amplifying the collective, what we're all experiencing as a society. And the astrology backs it up. It tells us about what that is going to be, what the collective themes are. And we just had the full moon in Aries amplifying these themes. I don't know about y'all, but any other Libra risings also feeling pretty insecure during this time. I feel like I suddenly don't know who I am anymore. Very strange feeling. Anyways, South Node in Libra is a collective release of our values when it comes to our relationships. Venus rules values, self-worth, relationships, money as well. All of those things are very tied together. And Venus rules over all of them, Libra's ruling planet. Eclipses amplify these collective themes. An eclipse is literally when the moon is new or full around where the nodes are. That's why this full moon in Aries wasn't an eclipse, because it's not anywhere near the nodes. As you can see, South Node and North Node's at 6 degrees. This full moon is at 24 degrees. That's why the last full moon eclipse was in Pisces, because they were closer to the nodes than this full moon. And that was a foreshadowing of what next year is going to be like. But anyways, we're all still in this collective theme of the North and South Node being in Libra and Aries. So back to this. South Node, we're releasing relationships. We're releasing people in our life that don't align with our values. And this is where a lot of people get themselves into trouble, myself included, in the past. When we choose partners, we choose people to be around us for shared interest or appearances or how they make us feel, what they're saying. That makes us feel good, right? And I think this is where Love is Blind is just a complete shit show for the most part, because you're going off of solely what someone can say to you. You can't see how they're acting. You can't see their body language, their behaviors. I mean, we look back at clips of Leo, and what the fuck is he doing with all those pillows all the time? Like, body language completely off majority of the time he was speaking. But his words sounded right, and that's all they can hear. That's all they can pick up on. The other senses they don't have in that scenario, right? So it's a bad experiment. Love is not blind, and it should not be, okay? It's just stupid. But we watch it, it's entertainment, whatever. But to me, this is like showing us collectively how we can choose and be susceptible to choosing the wrong partners, which is the collective theme right now with the South Node in Libra. And instead, we really need to be choosing partners based on shared values, not necessarily what we have in common or what they look like or where they live or whatever, all these superficial things about people, which is the shadow side of Libra, is focusing on superficiality. But what are their values? Because those are the things about someone that doesn't really change. Although someone can change how they dress, someone can change, their actions because they can grow as a person, or they become a mother and that changes who they are and how they approach life. But someone's values rarely change. And so that's what we really need to be picking our partners based on, because that is how someone acts, is from their values. If someone truly values women, they are going to treat women with respect inherently, as an example. But if someone values themselves above anyone else, we're going to see that in their actions, right? We saw that with most of these men on Love is Blind this season. Like, Steven obviously values himself and feeling good and having a good time over women. It's obvious he sees women as an object of his desire to make him feel good and validated. And his actions showed that. And this is what we're all learning as a collective, okay? To pick someone based on what their values are, not who they say that they are, because as we have seen as well with Ramses and Nick, they've said things that they are not. That's how you know someone's not living in their authentic truth, and they probably don't have good values, because someone who does isn't going to talk about it. They're not going to have to talk about it because it is so apparent in who they are. We see this with Garrett. But with Nick, as an example, oh yeah, I can cook, I love to cook, blah, 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 I help my mom cook. Looks for dry pasta in the fridge and doesn't know how to boil water for pasta. Ramses, oh yeah, I value equality, but I won't wear condoms because it doesn't make me feel good during sex. You gotta pay attention to who someone is versus what they say, and this is what people in this show get tricked on. And with Chiron and Aries being a part of this Aries full moon, we are learning that we have to heal ourselves first to see these things, and it's okay to be alone and independent while we're doing that, so as to not get sucked back into old habits and patterns of relationships that do not serve us and ultimately drag us away from our true path. This is what the North Node and Chiron and Aries are trying to teach us right now, how to embrace and be okay with our independence, raising our standards along the way, and knowing that the perfect partner for us will come when we are living in those standards. when we are living in our values and not settling for anyone who doesn't meet those values and standards. Because that is literally where all issues in a relationship stem from, a misalignment of values. What are your thoughts? How is it showing up for you? Let's chat about it in the comments.